About 20 years ago, Eastgate Systems published my first novel, and it was a hypermedia novel called Uncle Buddy's Phantom Funhouse. And this is the actual box that the Funhouse ships in. And it is, as Mark Bernstein likes to say, a chocolate box full of death. It was, I believe, the first boxed product that Eastgate did. Everything up to then had been in slipcases. And these are boxes because there's a lot of stuff inside. When you open it up, there's an introductory how-to guide. You have to remember, in 1982, you had to explain to people how hypertext worked. So this was explaining what previous and next arrows were. Things have come a long way in the past 20 years. So you had this, which was the introductory guide, and this, I believe, is a later edition, but it shows how to unpack and load it on your computer, because the later versions shipped on a CD as opposed to the 5 floppies that were in the original box. Up till then, interactive fictions were typically text-based, were written either in a bespoke system or in something like StorySpace, which would all fit comfortably on a single floppy. And what I was doing with the Funhouse, the big idea, if I had one, was to create a fiction that was told entirely through modally appropriate artifacts. So you are asked to imagine, once you're in this part of the box, that you are now the literary executor of a vanished science fiction writer named Arthur Buddy Newkirk. And everything that's in here was as Newkirk left it. So these would have been the floppies that were in Newkirk's machine. And these were tapes that Buddy had recorded with his band. The story of Emily and the Time Machine, another tape called Retribution, and then in the bottom of the box, what appears to be a letter to Buddy Newkirk from an editor saying, here are page proofs of Tree. I think the illustration goes real well. Hope it's okay with you. I have a few questions indicated. You can get back to us by mid-November. And then there's actually a set of page proofs from a science fiction story which was scheduled apparently to appear in Vortex, the anthology of cyber fiction. And as page proofs often do, there are errors and questions marked on the text. And this is a 8,000-word short story that was apparently in production at the time Arthur Newkirk disappeared. So to begin the traversal, as I think most people would, in those long ago days when we didn't have MP3s, we probably have put their first cassette in the machine and play a little bit, and then open up the stack that says read me first.
Looking at a picture of you, traveling through time, back through the spaces in my life.
lawyers named Merck and Ladra, based in Newport, Rhode Island, to those addressed, Ray, Effects of Arthur Newkirk. The enclosed documents represent a portion of the literary estate of Mr. Arthur Buddy Newkirk, 46 St. Clair Ave, Pirate Cove, Rhode Island. The disappearance of Mr. Newkirk under unknown circumstances has activated a release mechanism established with our firm. We're instructed to inform you that you have, at some time, known Mr. Newkirk, probably as a family acquaintance referred to as Uncle Buddy. While you may not remember this, we are instructed to inform you that there may be reasons for this involving lapses of memory or other divergences of an unspecified nature. Mr. Newkirk has passed these items into your hands for whatever purpose you wish to make of them for any legal end whatsoever. Our heartfelt concern and best wishes for your efforts. Should you ever need legal representation, we hope you will consider our firm. Sincerely, Leonard Merck. Then you have to agree to a statement of acceptance saying that you understand these documents are of a highly personal nature and they contain disturbing information. These may be inaccurate, incomplete, or fictional in content to an unknown degree and passed into my possession without warranty of any kind, either express or implied. And Merck and Ladra will not be responsible for any personal trauma or any other direct or indirect damages. Legal language hasn't changed much in 20 years. You have to accept. And it says your legal name is John McDaid. Yes, it is. I accept. If you don't accept, you can't progress past this screen. And you are now entering the funhouse. The first screen that you come to is an image of a house. One would presume, based on the way HyperCard worked, that this would have been Arthur Buddy Newkirk's home card. The metaphor for HyperCard was that it was a home, and you created stacks of cards using a sequential card metaphor that you linked from your home card. So, in those days, this would have been the home card that Newkirk would have used, and on it are a series of links to stacks. The writer's brain, oracle, fictionary, the fictionary of the Beezars, and we'll get to that. Final cuts, art gallery, sooner or later, source code, Spasticon, Hyper-Earth, USW, and Egypt. And then at the lower right is a little floating palette so that you can always get back and forth. And that was one of the things that HyperCard allowed you to build. So clicking on the Welcome to the Funhouse text box brings up a little bit of introduction. If you're reading this, we must assume that you're supposed to. Perhaps you don't remember me yet. Perhaps you never will. Yes, I do mean you. Play along with me for now. Pop a tape in your walk person, click through a few screens. Come on. Suspend, for a moment, disbelief.